The mansion was too quiet, not the peaceful kind of quiet, the kind that personal against Ryan ears, until she could hear her own heartbeat, fast and nervous, like it was trying to escape her chest. She sat stiffly on the edge of the cream-colored sofa in the living room, her hands folded in her lap, fingers twisting the fabric of her sleeves without her realizing it. The house smelled faintly of expensive wood, polish and something darker, leather. Smoke power. Jake, her mind supplied instantly, and her shoulders tensed. First day, first night, first everything. Her eyes flicked toward the hallway that led to the bedrooms. Somewhere down there, behind one of those closed doors, was the man she had married only hours ago. Jake, her husband, the mafia king everyone whispered about. The same boy who had once shared a desk with her in high school and now ruled an empire built on fear. Ryan swallowed. She had not moved since he had disappeared into his some room earlier, his presence still lingering like a storm that had passed but felt the air heavy. He had not said much, just a curt nod, "Hello, you must be tired." And then he was gone. She didn't know whether to be grateful or terrified. "You are going to wrinkle your dress if you keep sitting like that." Ryan startled so badly she nearly jumped off the sofa. She turned to find Jack's sister-in-law standing there, a soft smile on her face, eyes warm instead of sharp. Unlike everyone else in the house, she didn't look at Ryan like she was fragile glass, or like she was disposable. "I'm sorry," Ryan murmured, immediately straightening. The woman chuckled gently and sat beside her. "You don't know to apologize for breathing, you know." Ryan tried to smile. It came out small and uncertain. Her sister-in-law studied her for a moment, then reached out and patted her shoulder reassuringly. "You are scared of him." It was not a question. Ryan hesitated, then nodded slowly. I don't know him anymore." The woman's smile softened. "He is not that people make him out to be. Cold, yes. Difficult, definitely. But cruel." She shook her head. "Never to someone he cares about." Ryan's fingers tightened, but his anger. "I know," she interrupted gently. "He has a temper, but trust me, Ryan, Jack would rather hurt himself than hurt you." That sounded impossible, yet something in her tone made Ryan's chest loosen. Just a little. Come, she said, standing up and offering her hand. I will walk you to the bed. Vian's breath hitched the room. She nodded, forcing her legs to move, even thought they felt like they were made of glass. The hallway felt longer than before. Every step echoed, every breath felt too loud. When they stopped in front of the door, Vian's heart was pounding so hard she was sure Drag sound heard it from inside. Her sister-in-law squeezed her hand. You are safe here. Then she knocked once and opened the door. Jack was not inside, at least not immediately visible. The room was dimly lit, curtains fluttering slightly from the open balcony doors. The air was cool, clean, masculine. Wine stepped in hesitantly. He's probably outside, she said quietly, then left them alone. The door clicked shut behind her. Wine froze. She stood there for a few seconds, then finally noticed him. Jack was on the balcony, half leaning against the railing, phone pressed to his ear. He wore black sweat pants and nothing else. His jaw was to her, muscles shifting subtly as he spoke in a low, controlled voice. Handle it, he said. I don't care how. Just make sure it does not reach her. Her, Ryan, her heart stuttered. He ended the call and stayed there for a moment, staring out into the city lights, jaw tight. Then he turned and saw her. Something unreadable crossed his face before his expression settled into calm indifference. You can use the bathroom, he said evenly. I will stay out here. Relief flooded her so fast, her knees nearly buckled. She nodded quickly and rushed past him, not trusting herself to speak. The bathroom door closed behind her with a soft click. Ryan leaned against it, exhaling shakily. Get it together. She changed into her night clothes with trembling hands, splashed cool water on her face, and stared at her reflection. You are married, she whispered to herself. You can do this. When she finally stepped out, she stopped. Jack was no longer on the balcony. He was inside and shirtless. Ryan's brain short-circuited. He stood near the bed, towel in his hand, hair slightly damp, like he'd just washed his face. His skin was warm, toned, marked with scars she didn't recognize, and tattoos. Her face burned instantly. She looked away until her eyes betrayed her. Right there, on the left side of his chest, over his heart, her name, Ryan, ink dark, permanent, unmistakable. What the? She whispered. Before she could stop herself, Jack's lips twitched. He leaned casually against the bed, arms crossing over his chest, completely unbothered by her state. Like what you see. Her head snapped up. Why is my name on your chest? He raised an eyebrow. That's what you are stuck on. Jack, she breathed, fluttered, embarrassed, overwhelmed. What is my name doing there? He studied her for a long moment, then sighed, the teasing softening into something deeper. Only if you had not run away from me in high school, he said quietly, I would have explained. Her heart clenched. I don't get it, she whispered. Why are you so calm? Why are you acting like I am scared of nothing? He stepped closer, not invading her space, but close enough of her to feel his warmth. I don't bite, he said dryly. Not people at least. She huffed despite herself. Put on a shirt, you will catch a cold. He smiled. I sleep like this. She opened her mouth to argue, then remembered his anger, the stories. The way people flinched when he raised his voice. Her shoulders sagged, and she felt silent, retreating to the bed, lying down carefully on her side. She reached out and turned off the lamp without a word. Darkness filled the room. Jake stood there, dumbfounded. He watched her cut from the way she had gone quite so suddenly. His jaw tightened, guilt settling heavy in his chest. He sighed, grabbed a shirt and pulled it on. Then he lay down on the opposite side of the bed, careful not to touch her. Why? He said softly into the dark. The room stayed dark, not uncomfortable, just heavy with things unsaid. Ryan lay on her side, facing away from Jake, eyes wide open despite how tired her body felt. She could hear him breathing on the other side of the bed, slow, controlled, like he was very aware of every movement he made. He had not touched her, not even accidentally. That somehow made her chest ache. Jake stared up at the ceiling, one arm tucked under his head. He replied the moment she had gone silent again and again. The way her shoulders had dropped, the way fear had slipped back into her eyes like a flex she could not control. I hate that she's scared of me, he thought. Minutes passed. Then you are awake. Ryan started slightly at his voice, soft and low, in the darkness. She hesitated, then nodded before remembering he could not see her. Yes, she whispered. A pause. Good, he said lightly. I was starting to think I bored you already. He let out a small, surprised breath that almost sounded like a laugh. Almost. I'm not bored, she murmured, just thinking. Dangerous habit he teased. I try to avoid it. She turned her head just enough to glance at him, even in the dark. She could make out his silhouette, broad shoulders relaxed now, not tense like before. You don't seem like someone who avoids thinking. He smirked. Only when it comes to my wife. Her heart skipped. My wife. She swallowed. You said that very easily. Because it's true, he replied simply. And because I like watching you get flustered. She scoffed quietly. You are impossible. And you married me anyway. That was not exactly my choice. He hummed. Still here, thought. She didn't argue. Another silence settled, softer this time. After a moment, Ryan spoke again, hesitant. Does it hurt? He frowned. What? The tattoo, she said. On your chest. He turned his head toward her, surprised. That's what you are worried about? She shrugged slightly. Under the blanket, it looked big. He chuckled under his breath. You should have seen my face when the needle hit. Her lips curved despite herself. You scared of a needle? Hey, he protested softly. I have a reputation to maintain. She smiled properly, this time small but real. Jake noticed his chest tightened. Do you want to know why it's there? He asked gently. Wine hesitated, then nodded yes. I got it when I was 18, he said quietly, right after you left. Her breath catch. I didn't leave. I just disappeared, he finished. Not excusing, just stating. You stopped coming to school, changed numbers, moved. She turned fully toward him now. I was scared. Of me? He asked. Of everything, she whispered. You were changing. People around you were changing. And I didn't know how to stay without losing myself. He was silent for a moment. Then softly, I wish you had told me. I know, she said, I am sorry. He exhaled slowly. I didn't get the tattoo because I was angry. I got it because I was afraid I'd forget how it felt To be normal, to care. Her eyes burned. That's dramatic, she muttered. He smiled. You used to like that about me. He snorted. You used to write poetry. What happened to that boy? He married you, Jake replied smoothly, and became dangerous. She rolled her eyes, but her cheeks warmed. You are teasing me? Gently, he corrected. I promised myself I would be gentle with you. Her heart skipped again. Her heart skipped again. They lay there, facing each other now, the distance between them still careful, respectful. You went quiet earlier, he said after a while. Did I scare you again? She nodded slowly. When I remember your anger, it's like my body shuts down. His jaw tightened, not in anger, but restrained. I will work on it, he said firmly. I swear you don't deserve to live afraid. She studied him. You really mean that? I don't lie to you, he said any more. She shifted closer, just a little, not touching but closer. He noticed, didn't move. Jake, she whispered. Yes, if I ask you something, you won't get mad. He smiled softly, asked, why do you look at me like I might disappear again? He didn't answer right away. Then, honesty, because I am terrified you will. Her chest ached. She reached out, hesitant, slow, and tugged lightly at his sleeve. Come closer. I won't run. His breath hitched, carefully, like approaching something fragile. He moved closer until their arms brushed. See, she murmured, still here. He smiled softer than she'd ever seen. Good. She and exhaustion finally catching up to her. Sleep, he said quietly. I will be right here. You promise? On my heart, he replied. Her eyes fluttered shut, and for the first time since the wedding, Maya slept peacefully, with her name resting over the heart that had never stopped beating for her.